that.
I think true feminists really are just for women's choice. Like, it's for women's freedom. Like, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, if that's all you want to be, that's totally fine. Just don't judge a woman who is sexually liberated and trying to do their own thing, because men can choose to do that too, and it's okay.
I think when it comes to the argument...
So we shouldn't shame women for being promiscuous and having high body counts?
If we're not
it's
shaming
just like,
men as much. If we're not shaming
men, I mean, it depends.
I feel
so
like we're more so stigmatized for it.
Yeah, no, women are stigmatized. But I think that...
That is such a cop-out answer, though. I feel like at the end of the day, you both still risk STDs, and you both still risk like being a child coming alive out of that coitus. So honestly, the whole idea that's like, oh no, it's just different. I think it's a cop-out for consequences.
Evopsych and biological reasons because of paternity uncertainty.
Yeah, no, and I'm saying the consequences are the same, and I don't think you should cope with the idea that like, oh no, like you still have these immense responsibilities at the end of the day. And if you want to talk about evopsych,
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, it was
I didn't
just
see
the
it.
top, just the top of a little bit of color.
Okay.
Oh, and if you want to...
Rosiness.
I'm sure it's not shadow, possibly, because
You're fine now.
Okay.
It looked different to how it looked a second ago.
We're fine. Okay, what up?
Yeah, I was going to say, and if you want to talk about evopsych, there are strong like evolutionary imperatives for a man to stay with a certain woman, to not go like sleep with around multiple, because it's harder to guarantee impregnation in that way.
Guarantee paternity.
Yeah, guarantee paternity.
Right.
And then on top of that, you know, you still risk STDs if you sleep around, especially back then. So it makes more sense to stay with one woman. And then again, the consequence of having a child, even if your physical body is not going through those changes, that, you know, responsibility that you still feel obliged to. So there are strong evopsych reasons for men to not sleep around.
That's not what I was arguing. I was saying why men care more about women's promiscuity.
Well, I thought that you were arguing that like it doesn't matter if men are promiscuous, or there's biological reasons why it's okay for men to be promiscuous.
I'm not in favor of male promiscuity.
Well, I feel like going with what you're saying, though, it would be the opposite. I feel like what you're saying is a point for what he's making, why men don't like women being promiscuous, because they want to guarantee their paternity. If the woman is sleeping with multiple men, he cannot guarantee that that's going to be his kid. He could be spending time, resources. No, but here's the thing. Our brains don't know the difference. And yes, we have our logic and we have our reason, but 95 to 99% of everything we do is subconscious. We don't consciously think about it. It's based off programming, and then a lot of the conditioning in that old part of our brain that is literally still dictating our emotions and decisions to this day.
But why are we so different in our perspectives if we're both similarly programmed?
Sure, that's where the nature versus nurture argument comes in. So I do agree that nurture does, to some degree, have some pull. It absolutely does. But I'm saying on the balance of probability, when you put people into an environment and there is no external influences, I feel like people will still have a natural inclination or drive or proclivity to act within a certain way, irregardless.
You think like without any societal pressures and norms, if they were just free roaming like in the forest, like we're all like nomads without any sort of social construct, people would care highly about body count. Like I do. Tribes,
I think that women would still feel low self-esteem. I think they would still suffer depression. I feel like they would still suffer what's the word? It's escaping me right now, but they would still feel these things naturally without society's judgments based on them. And that's where society's judgments come from. We didn't pull this shit out of thin air and decide, let's just make our own rules. The rules were created out of natural...
So I would say that the rules in a capitalistic society is created around capitalism, and I would say that socioeconomic... Like your degree of happiness is largely determined by income. Like there's like a technical like economics of happiness, and the scale goes up. Like if you're making zero income, you're miserable. Here's like the happiness scale. But then if you make $70K a year, it's like all the way up here. There's like a huge difference. And then I know it like diminishes. It's kind of like an E curve. But
when you make over 100K, it doesn't really make much of a difference to your happiness levels, apparently.
Yeah, it's kind of like it goes like this.
We need to wrap up here soon, so I do need to